Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development. 2026 commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2050 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. This week is commemorated as CHD Awareness Week from February 7 to 14 in US, which takes place every year. Congenital heart defect or congenital heart disease is a heart condition that is the leading cause of death for both men and women in the US. CHD Awareness Week is essentially for creating awareness about the disease and raising more funds for research that will save lives. So, congenital heart disease is a condition that affects the structure of a person's heart. The word congenital means that the disease is present at birth, and CHD may present itself in the form of a hole in the heart or missing and deformed parts of the heart. Today is also commemorated as Have a Heart for the Chained Dogs Week from February 7 to 14 in US, which is observed these days, which means Valentine's Day. So you'll be receiving the purest form of love you have ever felt. The terms chaining or teethering are defined as a practice of tying up a dog to a stationary object as a means of keeping the animal under control. This practice is considered cruel as it poses a great risk to the physical and psychological well being of dogs. Dogs are man's best friend, but sadly, humans aren't always that friendly to dogs. Even though dogs have proved their loyalty to us time and time again, some fail to provide dogs with the love they deserve. So let's show our dogs how much we appreciate their friendship and shower them with love. Chained dogs are easily forgotten and face neglect that have detrimental effects on their well being. Dogs being chained outdoors live in miserable conditions with inadequate food or shelter, and sometimes they don't even have access to clean water. By chaining dogs for long periods, we are also denying them the companionship of humans or other dogs. Dogs are incredibly social creatures who are harmed by being tethered. It can also have may lead to many behavioral issues, loneliness, and overprotectiveness of their territories. Tethered dogs are also at a greater risk of suffering injuries or even death as a result of being unable to escape when attacked by other animals. So every year around Valentine's Day, dogs deserve better informed people about the abuse dogs face when they are chained up all the time. Their goal is not to accuse but rather to educate people so that they will consider bringing their dog into the house or finding a better home for it. Today is also commemorated as International Week of Black Women in the Arts. Every year in the US, International Week of Black Women in the Arts is observed every year from February 7 to February 15. This week celebrates the achievements of Black female artists in various fields and finds way to support. This is also the time to discover new Black artists, promote their art, and raise awareness of issues that are unique to them. From music to painting and cinema, Black artists have made their presence felt with their remarkable talents, yet they remain underpaid and underrepresented. Today is also commemorated as the day. So whip out your T1 calendar, TI calendar, calculator. This E-Day, February 7th, and spawned a little button that bolsters logarithmic and exponential functions on the day. While you may not be too familiar with E, you are surely acquainted with its more famous cousin, pi. Just like pi, E is an explicably recurring number in the world of mathematics. It has never-ending chain of decimal points, the beginning of which is 2.71828, and on, and it goes. So this day is celebrated on 2 by 7 for the obvious reason that the date holds the same digits as E rounded to the nearest tenth. Today is also commemorated as Grenada Independence Day on February 7th. Grenada Independence Day is a public holiday and is celebrated every year on February 7th. The day is also celebrated as Grenada's National Day. This day marks Grenada's independence from Britain on February 7, 1974. If Independence Day of Grenada falls on a weekend, the following Monday is not considered a day. The day is observed in various cities across the country with colorful parades and official ceremonies. People dress up, visit their loved ones, and make merry and remember their struggle for freedom. On Independence Day of Grenada, shops, schools, and banks remain closed. Tourists also visit Grenada to partake in the lively occasion. Today is also commemorated as Hug and Addict or Alcohol Day on February 7th. So Hug and Addict or Alcoholic Day is observed every year on February 7th in the United States. The day is dedicated to these stigmatizing addiction and rehabilitation. Strangers and addicts get together to observe the day, understanding how addiction can be cured. Many addicts suffer from stigma and alienation, and this is worrisome since companionship and acceptance are important on their road to recovery. With correct resources and empathy, addicts can be free of alcohol and drug addiction and find their footing after recovery. Today is also commemorated as Lung Giving Day in US, marked on first Sunday in February, and this year it takes place on February 7th. It was founded by the 36-year-old Heather Von St. James, who had mesothelioma, which is a cancer that affects the mesothelium, a thin tissue lining that covers the outer surface of internal organs. At her diagnosis, she was only given 15 months to live. After studying and consulting with a renowned mesothelioma surgeon, she underwent extrapleural pulmonectomy. Her sister made a joke about it, Lung Living Day. on the day of her life-saving surgery, and the term struck. Having an illness, especially cancer, can be terrifying. Let's support those who live with the fear and help them stand tall. Remember to show gratitude for a life of good health. Today also is commemorated as Meniere's Disease Awareness Day in US. So don't let your lifespan out of control and get them off balance. Meniere's Disease Awareness Day on February 7th was established to raise awareness about the rare but chronic condition that affects the inner ear, causing the unpredictable and debilitating symptoms of vertigo, tinnitus, a feeling of fullness or pressure in the ear, and sudden falls without loss of consciousness, drop attacks, or the sensation of being pushed sharply to the floor from behind. Low frequency hearing loss, which usually fluctuate in the beginning stages and become more permanent in later stages. So that little or hearing remains, hypersensitivity to sounds, and also hyper hyperacusis. It's a life-changing condition for many of the people who are diagnosed with it. Research has identified associations between Meniere's disease and reduced quality of life amongst diagnosed individuals in acute episodes. Meniere's disease is one of the most debilitating diseases experienced by the people who survive an illness. Today is also commemorated as National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day on February 7th in US. You may not hear about these terms as much as in years past, but HIV/AIDS is still wreaking havoc in the African American community. If you are African American, National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, in short known as NBHAAD, offers the latest updates on the fight against the infection and disease. NBHAAD occurs every February 7th with inspirational stories of survivors, suggestions on how to make healthier, more positive lifestyle choices, and details on the latest innovations in education and treatment. NBHAD speaks to the resilient spirit of strength, faith, and hope in the Black community. Today is also commemorated as National Ballet Day on February 7th. As we can't wait to celebrate this elegant and theatrical dance form, when the ethereal outfits, passionate dances, and classic music come together, it uplifts the spirit like no other form of artistic expression. The grace in ballet is undeniable, and we tend to forget the unbelievable athleticism and strength needed to achieve that. And female ballerinas can carry 3 times their body weight while dancing on the tip of their big toe. Male ballerinas are capable of lifting 1.5 tons during a single performance. These are just one of the several reasons why ballet leaves us started, so that let's tip our hats on the ballet. Today is also commemorated as National Fettuccine Alfredo Day. So National Fettuccine Alfredo Day in US. You don't get the status as one of the most popular pasta dishes created without good reason. Fettuccine Alfredo is an Italian, obviously, pasta dish consisting of fresh fettuccine tossed with butter and Parmesan cheese. It's simple yet delicious. It's so tasty that it deserves a day all to itself. Whether you are dining out or doing spot of home cooking. Make sure the fettuccine alfredo is on the menu on February 7th. Today is also commemorated as National Ice Cream for Breakfast Day in US. Surprisingly, this day was invented in New York in the middle of the winter, created in 1960s, clearly because it's a groovy idea. The day further proof that you eat ice cream at any time of the year, any time of the day, on any occasion. So the first Saturday in February, go ahead and get your treat on. Before noon, we won't judge. Day is also commemorated as National Periodic Table Day on February 7th, which has been celebrated on February 7th to pay tribute to the chart pasted in science classrooms that save us from flunking high school chemistry. The idea is to dedicate a day to toast the periodic table and its scientific inventions was conceived in clever mind of chemistry teacher Mr. David T. Steinker, and we cannot help but assume that we had some sneaky ulterior red academic motives behind it. Whatever the reasons on this day, we celebrate and glorify the periodic table and its scientists in being critical building elements, literally, for the continuing discoveries in science. Today is also commemorated as National Send a Card to a Friend Day on February 7th. We love all getting items in the mail, but why perhaps it's a time to take us to sit down in our busy lives and write the card. Perhaps it is the fact that person was thinking about you when they selected the card. Perhaps it's a quaintness of receiving something so physical in our age of rapid digital and instant gratification. Whatever the reason, join us on February 7th as we celebrate National Send a Card to a Friend. Today is also commemorated as Rose Day on February 7th, marks the beginning of the Valentine's Week. Roses are gifted to the special ones to celebrate love and affection. It may be anyone, to your parents, friends, siblings, relatives, or even to teachers or anyone who you love and have affection towards it. So it is believed that Victorians began the practice of exchanging roses with their loved ones to communicate unspoken feelings. On Rose Day, you can give your loved ones red, pink, yellow, orange, white, lavender, and blue roses. Even rose signifies a different emotion. You can also celebrate Rose Day by wearing any of these colors, planting a rose plant, or even buying a piece of a color or an item in the rose gold. Today is also commemorated as Take Your Child to the Library Day in Canada and US. Takes place throughout the libraries in the United States and Canada annually on the first Saturday of February, falling on February 7th this year. Dates may vary, however, depending on the library. Taking your child to the library is almost a rite of passage. So read on for activity ideas on maximizing your and your child visit to the library. Today is also commemorated as Wave All Your Fingers at Your Neighbor Day in US, celebrated every year on February 7th. In the United States, the day serves to encourage friendship between neighbors. Waving in a universal gesture is a good way to get someone's attention and start conversation. A friendly wave is an easy way to show love, respect, and appreciation. A small wave can become a person feel and appreciate. So wave all your fingers at your neighbor day, which is a day that fosters love and friendship. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in today's commemorations and celebrations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been raised in the form of polls. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.